podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.
Good morning, film bastards, and good afternoon and good evening. My name is Ian Loring, and welcome to Film Bastards. Wow, I just completely got out of my flow then.
That ain't long to hit, did it? That Jack Daniel.
That was stunning. Wow. My name's Ian Loring, and as always, I'm joined by
Becky Foster. Hello, everyone.
And Matt Foster. Hello, everybody.
Hello, one and all. We very much hope you are safe and well. Coming up on this week's show, we have got two reviews. I say. We have got the new Disney and Pixar. Just stick it out on Disney Plus because content. Italian seaside trip Luca. And Ben Wheatley doing some lockdown horror, to which I forgot to reply to Becky's text yesterday. And in a way, I'm glad, because I just want to have a conversation here as opposed to a conversation we might have gotten into WhatsApp. I'm ever so sorry, Becky. That was my bad. We'll get you off. Sorry? You'll let me off?
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, bud. We're going to be talking some In the Earth. We'll have some news. We'll have some trailers. We'll have some what we watched. Becky is back after fucking us off for a week. Bex, how was your affair?
Underwhelming.
Okay. All right. That's good. Mark lives on to fuck another day.
Woo!
What did you say about me?
What?
What did you say
Listen
about
to the
me?
podcast.
Yeah. I don't know whether you should listen to the podcast or not.
Me and John actually had this conversation when he was up in York a few weeks ago. I was saying that John got to the point of where he so much never wanted to miss a podcast because of the just deflammatory shit that will get said about him.
That's just using fear as a weapon.
It's a podcast tradition.
Yeah, I never get to listen to podcasts. What I need, you see, is a really long commute during which I can listen to podcasts.
You listen to it later.
I can't, can I? I'm not even allowed to listen to music at work.
When you're on your own, you can.
No, it's definitely the commute thing.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I get where you're going with it.
I feel like we need to move on. What's going on with the dog? The dog just poked her nose in, looked at me, and then immediately fucked off down the stairs.
She's clearly doing something.
Oh,
Doing something.
Yeah. Just going to check
Tell you what.
It's safe.
Mild, very quick tangent. No one ever fucking told me that when a female dog gets spayed, drooling is a side effect. I don't know whether it is actually connected or not, but that dog, if she wants your toast, my God, she's going to dribble until she gets it. Like, it is incredible how much that dog wants food all the time. Like, it is amazing. Seriously, but it's ever since she got spayed, dribbling all over the place whenever there's food around that she wants. And it's only food that she wants. She really goes for it. Anyway, patrons, obviously longer patron content. There was about 15 minutes or so of just babbling from me today, quite frankly. But hey, it's all good. I am going to be doing a beginner's guide to Bond because, you know, Bond is starting to approach. So I'm going to be doing The World Is Not Enough at some point this week. And then funnily enough, Die Another Day, the commentary, so the intermediate guide to Bond and beginner's guide to Bond will actually mirror up. so I will record 2 separate ones. I'm going to do Beginner's Guide to Bond, and then Andrew Jones is going to join me for a commentary of Die Another Day, because he basically willed that commentary into existence, so the least he could do is fucking join me for it. We're then going to be covering Casino Royale on Beginner's Guide, and then Mark is going to be joining me for the Intermediate Guide for the commentary of Casino Royale, because Mark actually likes Casino Royale.
Yes, I genuinely think that Casino Royale is not just one of the best Bond movies, but I think it is one of the best movies of the noughties.
Is that the one with the ill-fated Olga Kurylenko in it?
No, that is Quantum of the Solace.
Which, Casino Royale, one of the best Bond theme tunes. Quantum of Solace, one of the very, very worst Bond theme tunes.
Yes, Casino Royale has possibly up there a top 3 Bond.
They're all a bit shit, though, aren't they?
Chris Cornell.
Oh, what the? They're all a bit shit.
Bond themes, yeah.
Actually, not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're thinking of the shit ones and not thinking of the decent ones.
Honestly, I think Adele's just ruined them all for me.
Thing is, there are some proper underrated bangers. Fuck me. Tell you what, Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey and Coke, that'll do. Fucking hell. The Living Daylights.
Living Daylights is a fucking good song.
It's a fucking good song. A View to a Kill, a fucking good song. Live and Let Die, absolute banger. It slaps. Casino Royale. So, You Know My Name. I was trying to think of the name of it there. Jesus Christ. I mean, like you've got your big brassy ones. I mean, I'm quite partial to Thunderball, primarily because of how long Tom Jones holds the note for ball at the end. But it's legit great. There are some real bangers. I mean, The Living Daylights really is great the more I think about it, and no one ever talks about that. Yeah, You Know My Name is fucking fantastic. It really... I am so looking forward to Bond being back in the fucking zeitgeist in like September and people talking about Bond themes again. I can't wait. So yeah, a lot of Bond content coming on the Patreon. One day Fincher Club will resume. When that day is, who knows? Because we don't. So if you do, could you tell us?
Could you tell us so we can prepare for it and watch the Fincher films that we need to watch?
And then men doing their jobs very, very well. The films of Michael Mann will begin.
I have a feeling that Fincher Club will restart when the 4K of Zodiac finally fucking comes out.
I mean, the Social Network 4K is coming.
It is indeed, yes.
So I'm going to need an excuse for that. So, we will get there. We will get there. So $2 a month, patreon.com/filmbastards. I'm looking into Apple Podcasts Plus or whatever the fuck it's called and seeing if there's like an easy way of getting them on there as well, just to give people another option, but I'm not quite there yet. I don't know the logistics. So, just bear with me. So, news. Something I shared with Mark earlier on, Walter Hill has got a new film coming. That feels like bloody big news.
It is, yeah, and it's not just it's a Walter Hill film. It's a Walter Hill film with Christoph Waltz and Willem Dafoe that seems to have a little bit sort of budget and credence behind it, because it'll only be it'll be his third movie in the past 20 years or something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
And the other two were Bullet in the Head, a Stallone movie that he had in the works for a number of years that eventually Stallone just decided, yeah, let's do it, and kind of got made, and it was a very mid-budget film, and it's fun. It's a very genre-picky film. And then the other one was the one that kept on changing its name with Michelle Rodriguez.
Over here, I think it's called Tomboy. I think in the US it's called The Assignment.
Yes, that's it. With Michelle Rodriguez playing the a detective who gets kidnapped and essentially has gender reassignment.
Oh yeah,
And it was that, and it was one of those films where people got very angry about it without even actually watching it. And because of that, it kind of disappeared into the ether a little bit.
Yeah.
And apparently, literally, Walter Hill and Michelle Rodriguez didn't really do any press for it because both of them decided, you know what, can't be arsed with the constant backlash of it, so let's just not bother.
It's fair.
But Walter Hill may be, in terms of genre cinema, maybe one of the most important yet underappreciated genre cinema filmmakers out there. You know, the guy who helped create the Alien universe, directed films like Driver, which then obviously has become very, very influential over the years. Warriors, huge cult fucking classic.
Yeah.
But then even taken down to things like, you know, you could claim that 40 Hours helped essentially invent or popularize the buddy comedy.
Yeah.
That was there and launched the career of Eddie Murphy. You know, the studio didn't want Eddie Murphy. Even Walter Hill at one point didn't want Eddie Murphy until he kind of met him and then was like, oh, actually, hang on a minute. I realise what he's doing here. I've just got to let him do his thing and let him piss off Nolte because that will work better for the film. He said, so literally, on one side, I was there going, Eddie Murphy's coming at me and going, am I doing this right? Should we do this? And he said, and I'm going, Eddie, yeah, keep doing it. It's great. Just keep riffing and we'll just keep shooting and everything like that. And then literally I'm walking away and Nolte's going to me, could he stick to the scripts? He's going, yeah, I keep telling him, but, you know, he just keeps on doing this. And it was all just designed. So what is it? And then all that happened apparently halfway through filming was Murphy and Nolte went for a beer. And Murphy was like, you know, I feel weird. I feel like I shouldn't be doing all this kind of ad-libbing, but Walter keeps on telling me to do it. And Nolte's like, what? And so then what they started doing is they started winding Walter Hill up by Murphy sticking to the script and Nolte just going fucking off on one. But yeah, it's Walter Hill. All Walter Hill movies are westerns, no matter when they're set. They're all westerns. But it's Walter Hill doing a proper western like Geronimo and the Long Riders. What?
You're looking at me really intensely.
I'm not looking intensely. That's not my look. I'm an intense looker.
All right.
Yeah.
You are a looker.
Thank you.
Okay.
I think we make Ian uncomfortable.
Sometimes.
A little bit. Cool. Good. So moving on from Walter Hill, very much looking forward to that one. What else has there been?
Can we talk about the Deer Hunter?
I mean, yeah, we can. The Deer Hunter is getting a 4K steelbook.
Yeah.
And that steelbook has got quite the cover.
Yep.
Has Becky seen this?
I've got it up on my screen now.
I saw it on Twitter when you posted some kind of response to it the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just Google Deer Hunter 4K steelbook, you'll see it.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, the dumbest cover art of all time.
Yep.
So for those who can't get to a device to have a look at it, it's literally a picture of a deer looking like it's pretty much done with everything, and a gun being pointed at it from like the side. So you got the deer face on to the camera and the gun just poking out at the side, pointing at his head.
Yeah.
That is a steelbook cover designed by someone who's either actively taking the piss or literally just was told to make an image of the deer hunter. What's that then? It's a film. Can I Google anything about it? No, this is due in 5 minutes. I fucked up.
Yeah. So they just Googled black and white picture of deer, black and white picture of gun.
It is incredible. And this is the thing. I mean, it's an interesting angle because steelbooks are like one of the last refuges of the physical media collector. And they've basically gone, you're going to want this because it's a steelbook. And you're going to want this because of this stupid fucking cover.
And they're right.
£50, please.
I do want it because of the cover. I like how much this cover has wound people up.
Are people upset about it?
Oh, they are. And the thing is, it's great. It's a fucking great image. And I guarantee you, right, that if you added to this image Criterion Collection, half of those people who have been slagging it off would go, that is fucking brilliant.
They'd be fucking creaming themselves over it, wouldn't
That's
they?
fucking brilliant. What a provocative imagery
Yeah.
that's there. But because it's not, they're all like, well, this is stupid. It's like, so what? It looks fucking cool. I'd prefer that than the just generic,
Yeah.
deer hunter. I mean, the image that is on the back is the De Niro with the red headband and the gun. Now, that would be perfectly fine.
A lazy person would have put that on the front.
Yeah, would have put that on the front.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is. It's fucking cool.
What's the inside?
The inside is the
Russian roulette.
Yeah.
That's what it's called, isn't it?
Towards the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, but I just think it's fucking cool. I think it's a good looking, interesting cover. Steelbooks can go one of two ways. They can either be really boring, or they can look fantastic.
Mm.
And they know that there's a big market for them. There's a collector's thing for them. It's an oddity, I think, steelbooks within the physical media collecting community, because there's some who outright collect them. I used to do it myself. I used to collect them previously myself. I like them. They had a different dimension to the image, and I hated that blue bar on Blu-rays.
Yeah.
They're
pretty as steelbook.
And like that. And then you get people who get, and you have obviously you have the majority of people who don't care, but then you have the people who are like, well, it's fucking stupid. There's ugly bits of tin. Why do people pay more? It's like, well, you don't have to.
Yeah.
It's not like they're released and literally it's like that U2 album. It just took fucking money out of you, and it's like that. That's not how it works. Just don't buy them.
That was such a weird fucking move by Apple, wasn't it?
Yes.
You must have it. But I can delete it, right?
To literally create the most deleted album of all
I
time.
can delete it.
You could eventually they decide they had to make it for that because it was just taking too much memory on people's phones.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. I'd rather a grumpy fucking deer with a gun to its head than that fucking De Niro image.
I have breaking news.
Oh.
Apparently, Amblin Entertainment have signed a multi-picture deal with Netflix to produce film content for them, numerous films every year for the next 5 years.
Well, it's
Amblin have?
Yeah.
What, after Spielberg was all fucking...
Yep.
Fuck you, Netflix, Green Book's where it's at because it's a cinema release.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, then. I mean, to be fair, what the fuck have Amblin done over the last little while? Not a great deal. Fine.
Didn't they do one recently, though? That we're all like, oh, Amblin.
I remember a CG Amblin logo in front of... Oh, Cats.
Steven Spielberg, Amblin Partners, is teaming up with Netflix, thrilled to announce that the legendary filmmakers company will produce multiple new films for Netflix each year. It doesn't say that it's Spielberg.
Yeah, Spielberg's not fucking directing anything for Netflix.
No, it's just Netflix have gone. If we give you...
It's West Side Story.
What?
West Side Story.
Oh, yeah. They're going, if we give you 500 million to produce 10 films, could you do that? Yeah, go on then.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it'll be. Stuff will get thrown around. They'll, you know, and Spielberg will have a producer's credit on all of them, and maybe he might get involved in a few of them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. If Netflix can have originals that say from executive producer Steven Spielberg, that's the kind of thing that will help them against Disney Plus. You know, like, I don't know. It's interesting, these streaming wars, though, because, you know, Disney Plus are doing quite well. They missed their subscriber growth expectations for Q2, but they are still doing well. I kind of get the sense that they're already pivoting to, we're going to make an awful lot of big watch water cooler moment TV for Disney Plus, as opposed to we're going to have all our movies on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
It's, you know, I think it's interesting that this whole last year, what it seems to be showing is, if you want movies to actually be culturally relevant, they do need to have a big screen release. Yeah. You can get away with with it during the pandemic, but you look at how In the Heights is done and how people could just watch that on HBO Max, and that's done absolutely nothing. Bet it did just over 1 million over here. It's not great.
Whereas in the current climate, Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard beat its target.
How much did that do?
It did in the end, because it was targeted. They targeted it to do 15 million, and I think it just crossed 20.
Yeah,
17.1.
Yeah, I mean, there you go. I mean, that's not too shabby for that film. I mean, it appealed to us, and it looks like it's appealed to no one else. So, but I mean, in terms of critically, but hey, it beat In the Heights. But this is the thing. It's like films seem to need to actually have, that kind of exclusivity to them. So I think Disney are gonna go towards that. Amazon, it'll be interesting to see what they do, but again, it feels like them buying MGM felt more like because of the catalogue of titles more than any future projects aside from Bond. So Netflix have got to compete. So what are they doing? They're spending massive money on Rian Johnson making Knives Out films, because that is going to have some cultural cachet. That's going to get people talking. Steven Spielberg producing a bunch of stuff for Netflix is going to get people talking, and they have to have these things now. They have to have these big things, because otherwise the films just aren't going to fucking do anything. They'll be culturally relevant for like a weekend, and then they're gone. Like In the Heights hasn't done very well. Had a pretty bad drop off in the US last weekend as well, and now that is basically, people were saying, it could not. I buy In the Heights, here comes Fast 9. Whereas if they had committed to just releasing that in the cinema, making people go to the cinema and making clear it was a cinematic event, it may well have not done that well still, but it would have done better than like fucking $11 million or whatever it was that it made last week. I mean, $11 million in a world where Tom and Jerry is doing 20 odd on its opening weekend, and that was when cinemas open, is awful.
And it struggled in Latin America.
Yeah, it's interesting. So In the Heights, and I really wanted to like In the Heights. I made that very clear. It went down 63% weekend on weekend in the US. after 2 weekends, it's made just under 20 million.
Yeah.
It's so insubstantial, though, isn't it? It's like.
That film blew itself out.
It's presented itself as this film that's got loads of shit to say, and it doesn't fucking say anything. It's just slice of life, which is fine, but it's not what it was kind of marketed as. It was marketed as, this is going to be really important, and it's going to really say some shit. And then it just doesn't. It's so meek. There's one good bit in that film, and that's the bit in the dance hall. And that's for the dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's the dancing. It's not what's actually happening in it, is it? It's yeah, I don't know. I think that's interesting. Like, In the Heights is now gone away. It feels like there are now people going, hey, do you know what? It wasn't the best thing since sliced bread. Like, in the actual film Twitter sphere as well. Lin-Manuel Miranda came under criticism for not casting enough diverse people within the Latin American cast, and he's had to defend that.
He hasn't really defended it though, has he? He's just apologised.
No.
There's a tide turning on that man at the moment.
There's a bit.
No, I'm not. I don't have that much against him, but I saw a Puerto Rican, he's Puerto Rican, what is the thing, coming out saying, you know, he's not very well liked here.
Yeah, I like Lin-Manuel Miranda. I think he's a force for good generally, and it's weird seeing this kind of bump. But I don't know, it was interesting. I was listening to a podcast, a box office podcast, but called the Box Office Podcast, I think, actually, where they were talking about how, aside from Lin-Manuel Miranda, none of the cast actually did any press for like the Spanish language media in the US.
Oh, really?
And it's like, you probably need to get that. You need to get those folks engaged. Yeah. You know, it's like there's almost a sense that they thought that the West and the East Coast were going to be like into it, and so the tastemakers were into it, and so everybody else would be, and then it's been met with a bit of a shrug. You know, it's I was listening to another podcast where someone was saying, like, it really gave me a sense of how in a bubble I am on Twitter, where everyone was dying to see it, and it seems like nobody in the real world actually gave a fuck. And yeah, you know, I will stop the In the Heights stuff now, because I think Andrew Jones is probably just like ready to jump out the window. But
you know what? It's, you know, we've said this like for the last few weeks. We've kind of pretty much said the same thing. If people are allowed to have different opinions, and if Andrew fucking loved it, great. I'm glad someone did, and by all accounts, a lot of people did. It just felt so fucking flimsy to me, but that's me. Maybe I expected too much.
Yeah, you know? I'm the same, but I think its Oscar chances have completely shit the bed because of how badly it's done. Which is a shame. I would have loved it in the Heights West Side Story fucking dance battle at the start of the Oscars next year, you know, but don't think it's going to happen. But hey, you dust yourself off, you start again. But yeah, but this is the thing. It's like, now Fast 9 is coming out this weekend. Like, well, I mean, it's already made a fuckload in Asia and other markets. But that feels like an event. You know, like, it's not one that you can just see at home at the weekend. You know, you've got to go out to the cinema. I've got my IMAX ticket booked. Cannot fucking wait. That is going to be a right laugh on Thursday evening, you know, and it deserves that, you know, it deserves a window before it's on home video. And yeah, I mean, I wish it well. I don't know, it just, we'll get into it, but the big screen is fucking helping me with films so fucking much at the moment. It's yeah, it's something. I feel like I talked the arse off of that.
It's all good.
Yeah. Right. Let's do some trailers. Yes, I do want to see Nicolas Cage hunting for the man who stole his truffle pig. Thank you.
Yeah, I am the same. I do want to see
Truffle Pig John Wick.
Yeah, Truffle Pig Chef John Wick.
Yeah, Chef John Wick. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that just looks. It looks like the sort of thing Nick Cage would read the script for and go, I like this.
Yeah.
And that's it. And just ring his agent and go, say yes to this one.
Yeah. I'm well in on this.
Yeah.
I think Nick Cage, like, he is what he is, but he's turning out some real interesting shit at the moment, and I like it.
Nick Cage is right now
doing whatever the fuck Nick Cage
doing
wants to do.
the sort of stuff that you would have expected Nick Cage to do, based on his pre-Oscar win for Leaving Las Vegas career. If you were to say in 30 years' time, this guy is going to be making movies where he's chasing his truffle pig around New York.
That fucking one in the place with the jukebox. Oh no, it was pinball or something he was playing in his breaks, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, well.
That's it. It's fucking great.
Right. Again, but you could see those.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you were to say after, I don't know, sort of the face-off era, so that he'd had, off the back of winning an Oscar, but then having Con Air, The Rock, and Face Off, and being like the massive action star that he was. If you'd have then said, in 25 years' time, he's going to be making a movie where he's chasing his truffle pig around, what's it? And then you'd go, what?
What?
No, he won't. He'll be making Face Off 6 with John Travolta.
He's a clone.
Yeah. And yeah, so I'm down for what Nick Cage is doing.
I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying it.
I like the fact that people keep on going, oh, fucking hell. And he paid off his, what is it yet? And his response to it is, yes.
Fucking
ages ago. Like 15 years ago.
There is a Nicolas Cage bundle on sale on iTunes at the moment. $9.99 gets you Bad Lieutenant, Drive Angry, Trespass, The Wicker Man, USS Indianapolis, Stolen, Looking Glass, and 211.
For $9.99?
$9.99.
That's not bad.
I mean, Bad Lieutenant is $6.99 by itself.
Bad Lieutenant is fucking great as well.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Bad Lieutenant is brilliant.
Drive Angry is $3.99 by itself. God, I might buy this. It's just, do I want USS Indianapolis in my collection?
I mean, do you not want it?
I mean, God, it's directed by Mario Van Peebles.
Yeah. Isn't USS Indianapolis the one that starts off as a war movie but then turns into a horror halfway through?
Stranded in the... Yeah.
Yeah.
Stranded in the shark-infested waters of the Philippine Sea, the remaining survivors of the USS Indianapolis endured hunger, thirst, heat, delirium, relentless shark attacks, and the death of many shipmates. Oh, shit. Yeah. I think I'm going to have this. What's Stolen? Oh, shit. Simon West teaming up with him again. Okay, that's fine.
Stolen's all right. I've seen Stolen.
What's Looking Glass?
I think I've seen that as well. It's depressing.
Oh, I think it's a horror film. I think it's... Or, after losing their daughter to a tragic accident, shattered couple Ray and Maggie purchase a motel in the middle of nowhere in the hopes of starting a new life. But Ray begins to notice strange goings-on and starts to piece together the history of a bizarre murder associated with the motel. Poking around in a basement one day, Ray discovers a crawl space which leads to a two-way mirror into one of the rooms. As he becomes obsessed with the unusual activities that happen beyond the looking glass, his marriage, sanity, and his very life are threatened.
I've not seen this, but I want to see it. It's Trespass I've seen, the one with Nicole Kidman.
Yep, I've seen Trespass, I believe. What's 211? A teenager on a ride-along gets caught up in a bank robbery gone wrong, trying to tape all of the action on his cell phone as it happens. I mean, that sounds shit, but it's 87 minutes long.
It's 87 minutes long.
Ooh, I might be buying this.
It's directed by a man called York Alex Shackleton.
I mean, that's great. That's great. Yeah, Joel Schumacher directed Trespass. Who else is in it? Everyone's favourite, Cam Shikande.
Isn't it? Yes, he is indeed.
Oh, shit. Ben Mendelsohn, probably an early role for him, eh? Whoa. Yeah, I mean, I've seen Trespass. Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to buy that. But this is the thing. And then he does Pig. And it's like, yeah. I mean, this just looks great.
Yep.
His truffle pig's stolen and he wants it back.
Yeah. He just wants his pig back.
And it doesn't look like it's just going to be nobody and be like, well, let's just do John Wick. It's like, this is a little bit John Wicky, but the mood feels different.
Yeah. It feels like odd. It feels distinctly weird, but not in like an intentionally weird. Just like you're gonna watch it and go, all right, yeah, that literally was about him just, being this ex-super chef who went recluse and had a truffle pig. Fair enough.
Fire.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Okay, I think I've only got one other, actually. So have you guys got anything else?
Trailer-wise, have you got any from last week, Bex, that you would like to discuss? Because you obviously weren't here last week.
Not really. That gunpowder milkshake looks fucking great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I will be there on opening day to watch Midnight in the Switchgrass.
Opening day?
Yeah.
Opening day. Do you think that's getting a cinematic release in this country?
I hope so.
It won't.
I want to see Machine Gun Kelly in a film again.
Yeah, it won't get a cinematic
No,
release.
probably won't.
Anywhere.
I'll be watching it first thing. I have got a new one actually, but I don't know if either of you guys will have seen it. Have either of you guys seen the trailer for Karen?
Ooh, what's that now?
Okay, so you know all these viral videos of Karens being racist at people?
Mm.
Made a movie of it.
Fair.
Okay.
So a black couple moved to a new neighbourhood.
I've seen stuff about this.
And Karen just makes their life miserable. It will. I feel it will very much be in the vein of that awful fucking thing with Rosamund Pike that you made me watch.
Which one?
That awful care home one, where it will be a thanks, I hate it rating, because it will make all of our blood boil. But it's got I know Mark you haven't. Ian, did you watch any of Orange is the New Black?
I watched like the first 2 seasons, I want to say.
And obviously you've watched Sons of Anarchy, so you know Cherry out of Sons of Anarchy.
Yes.
It's her playing the Karen.
All right.
And she's done it, and she was saying she had to watch a lot of these. Taryn Manning, that's it. She had to watch a lot of these
Oh, wow.
video clips in order to obviously like research the behaviour and the mannerisms and things like this, and just got angrier and fucking angrier about it. So yeah, I would very much recommend watching the trailer and seeing what you think. We can take a short break if you want to watch the trailer.
It's called Karen.
Karen, yeah.
Okay.
Want me to send you a link?
That's all right. I'll show YouTube it. Karen trailer. Karen tries to steal PS5. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, BET original movies. Cool. A film by Coke Daniels.
Baby, Baby, you just gotta give it a chance.
Oh, there's that Karen.
Tell me about your new neighbors.
How much of a Karen does she look?
Tell me about your mind keeping it down. If you don't comply, I'll tell you. Mind keeping it down. If you don't comply, I'll tell you.
Somebody's taking home security serious.
Hi, I am Karen Drexler. I'm your neighbor. I am going to be taking your trash cans off the curb right when the trash is picked up. Is she nice? Right when the trash.
She's nice.
Wait a minute. We have a white entitled neighbor named Karen.
I like that they're owning the fact that it's ridiculous she's called Karen.
He is
Yeah.
living away in the kitchen. Very suspecting teenagers. Can you please hurry up? Please. Can you please hurry up?
My wallet?
You're very aggressive. Yep.
My wallet?
What the
We didn't do anything.
How the heck did you end up moving? We have criminals. Next thing you know, we have criminals.
I'm stepping out of the car. My office isn't covered. My office is uncovering some disturbing information on her and her brother.
She doesn't like black people.
We have a search warrant.
Well, I'm black. I know, she doesn't like you either. I want to sell the house.
This is very. Oh, the Confederate flag then.
Yeah.
You went in her house? You wouldn't want your wife to know our little secret, right?
That was not standard police procedure back there.
What do we have here?
We need a hammer. Everything looks like nails.
You people are very angry.
Shut your mouth.
Bad things happen to people that don't comply.
So that was Karen then.
I mean, I hope it's got more moments like you're saying we live next to a white racist woman called Karen.
It seems like it's going to be very self-aware.
Yeah, I'm gonna need plenty of that to get through that, I think.
Yeah.
Deary me. Right. What else have you guys got?
Just the one that you're going to mention.
So, yeah, probably the biggest trailer of the week. First proper look at Snake Eyes, the G.I. Jones Origins, G.I. Joe Origins film. Because apparently they're still trying to make Origins happen. It worked for X-Men, so why not for G.I. Joe? Henry Golding is Snake Eyes, and I think this looks like fun. It looks nice. I like Henry Golding. It looks like he's made a good fist at doing some of the action himself. Yeah, I am up for this. If it's over 2 hours, I'd be worried. But if it's a nice, like 105, 110 minutes, let's go.
Yeah, I'm the same. It's going to get no matter what compared to Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Five Rings.
I believe there's 10 rings.
10 rings. It's going to get compared to that. Whether it's fair or not that it gets compared to that is a different matter. But yeah, I'm very much up for it. Snake Eyes is one of my favourite characters in that universe. So it'll be fun. Henry Golding is a very charismatic screen presence, and so it'll be cool to see if we can get this kind of like, working. And it looks cinematic, whereas the movie that it's going to get compared to looks a little bit like one of the Netflix TV series.
Yep. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Oh, yeah. No, exactly. It looks like it's got a budget behind it. I really want another trailer for Shang-Chi. I want one that actually goes, yeah, this is a cinema release, like quite badly. And it was you, Mark. I think last week you talked about that new trailer for Black Widow that was like, yes, okay, this is the one that actually makes it look like a film.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
And it does. That new trailer for it does. I very much need that for Shang-Chi because at the moment it just nah. Whereas Snake Eyes, it looks like real locations. It looks like they've got a cinematographer who's not just trying to blandify everything so that it fits the same visual template, which Marvel increasingly feels like it's going for that, apart from when it's Taika Waititi and he's just like, I'm Taika Waititi, get the fuck out my way. So yeah, I mean, directed by Robert Schwenke, who is not the most reliable director in the world. But who knows? I'm ready for this one to be a solid 7 out of 10. Let's see another in a couple years kind of job.
Yeah, that's it. Like you say,
yeah, Schwenke's not the most reliable of. Red was good.
Yeah. What? Did he direct the first Red? I thought he
Yeah.
did the second one.
No, I did the first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, Red was good.
Yeah.
Tattoo, we like Tattoo.
Yeah, Tattoo was alright actually, yeah. His debut. No, so his debut film, yeah.
Tattoo, was that like German language horror, I want to say, or what was that?
It was a horror, yeah. I think it was actually, yeah. Yeah, German horror, yeah.
Yeah, okay, I remember that. Yeah, I don't know, we shall we shall see with Snake Eyes, but I am very, very looking forward to that, and hoping that's one I can see in IMAX. If I can go see that in IMAX like 11 o'clock on a Saturday morning, I'll be very happy.
Yeah, that's like the perfect time to go and see essentially what is a film version of a kids TV show.
On that note, I'm just going to grab a little miniature.
Which one are you going for?
I might have a double Gentleman Jack and Coke. I've had 2 double Jack and Cokes now.
Yikes.
I'm going to have one more, because then I'm going to run out of Coke anyway. Actually, to be fair, this is going to be a fucking strong one, because I don't think I've got enough to make a full glass. Anyway, I'll be back in a sec. Talk amongst yourselves, feel free.
Did I ask you to read it?
No, you didn't. We did a quick mic change there, didn't we?
You did?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's noticeable.
I wonder if it is noticeable. Yeah, we started the podcast on our old microphone because the lead for our new microphone had broken, and then our new microphone lead literally arrived midway through, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So then we quickly did a quick switch. Yeah. So if we sound better now than we did earlier, that is a good sign. If we sound worse, that is a really bad sign.
Interesting to know, though. If anyone notices, let us know.
If anyone notices, yeah, that we now sound either better or worse, then please get in touch.
He's like my little subtle hint that we need a longer commute.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah. No. Listeners, Becky is trying to get me to move out to the coast, aren't you, Bex?
Of course.
And I'm not as convinced as you, am I?
Yeah, you are. Because you're trying to get a Mr. Whippy machine out
Yeah,
of it.
she's also trying to bribe me with a Mr. Whippy machine.
Yeah.
And
a Kamado grill and a pizza oven.
if we get those anywhere, so don't use those as an excuse. It's the Whippy machine that you try to get me on.
I mean, that's the main one.
Yeah. It is, yeah. You bribe me with
soft-serve ice
nostalgia.
cream. Yeah.
Soft-served ice cream and nostalgia.
We'll even get some flakes.
Not the little boxes you can buy of specific ice cream flavours.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move the entire house and my entire life from Mr. Whippy machine.
I mean, that seems to be the best hook so far that I've found. So I don't know what that says about you.
I just really like soft serve ice cream.
You'd be living at the seaside though. You could just get them anyway.
What?
You could just get them anyway. There'll be ice cream vans everywhere.
Well, you don't know. We haven't been to that seaside. It's not.
It's not Scarbados, is it?
No, it's not Scarbados. So.
We could move to Wheatley.
I'd prefer to drown myself.
Oh, sorry.
You've got good childhood memories.
I could also try to remember fucking Whitby.
Imagine though, like if you worked in Whitby but you lived like up at the top, how easy it would be for you to get your steps in every day.
Fuck off.
Well, I don't know what I missed. Oh.
Me bribing Mark with the Mr. Whippy machine.
Nice. Oh, I managed to get one full glass just about.
Boom.
Oh, right. Fucking hell. Okay. Oh, it's only Monday. Right. So then, what should we talk about first? Let's talk about In the Earth. I was about to say In the Woods, which is kind of right, but not really. So, this is directed by Ben Wheatley and stars Joel Fry, Alora Torchia, Hayley Squires, and Reece Shearsmith. The premise: as the world searches for a cure to a devastating virus, a scientist and a park scout venture deep into the woods. As night falls, their journey becomes a terrifying voyage through the heart of darkness as the forest comes to life around them. Yeah, kind of it, I suppose. Yeah. I was listening to the Empire podcast the other day, interviewing Reece Shearsmith, and he said, its Midnight Run turns into Texas Chainsaw Massacre, turns into Quatermass. It's like, don't quite get where the Midnight Run came from, but the rest of it, yeah, sure, okay. So Ben Wheatley is quite a mixed bag of a filmmaker, I think it's fair to say, in terms of both like the material that he chooses to direct and, you know, to an extent the quality. I think I'm the biggest fan of his out of the three of us, and there's actually a Twitter question coming up later on kind of more about that in general. But Bex, I'll turn it to you first. So In the Earth is a film that is available on VOD in the US, and you guys VOD'd it up, and I saw it in the cinema. That's right, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Good old VPNs. And I'll start with you, Bex. Was the experience of watching In the Earth, do you think that, you know, assume like the kind of almost like the photosensitivity that you have aside, do you think that this was an experience that would have been better on the big screen, or did you think that your reaction to it would have been the same regardless of where you saw it?
Don't know. It might have been a bit more immersive. Obviously seeing it in a big old dark room on a big screen. I am very much of the opinion that if a film is only good if you see it in a cinema, it's not a good film. It needs to be able to stand up to both. I think that's a bit of a weak sauce excuse from filmmakers that can't make good films. But anyway, you know, there's a certain kind of extra little layer of atmosphere you get watching it at home in the dark on your own as well, though. So I don't know. I think there's pros and cons to both.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I've got to say, seeing it big was something, but the sound was something as well. There is some interesting shit going on with the soundscape of this film that I like. Coming out of 2-channel stereo TV, I'm unsure it would have had the desired effect, because I mean you were disappointed in it, weren't you?
Yeah, the trailer made it look like it was going to be really kind of tense and atmospheric and like creepy, and it just wasn't. It really disappointed me, because I wanted to watch it despite the fact that it looked like it was going to be quite heavily stroby from the trailer, because it looked like it was going to be really good, and yeah, it just felt like a real non-entity to me. Just kind of pointless.
That's really interesting. So and Mark, your relationship with Ben Wheatley is very, very up and down. What part of the trajectory did this fall into for you?
I overall quite liked it, to be honest. I think it's very much how I feel about Ben Wheatley, in the sense that it's in bits it's really good and it's really interesting. But then there's other bits where I don't think he's ever made a completely good movie that is holistically good. He's made movies that I enjoy, but with this, I felt there was good bits, and then there was just bits where I was watching it going, oh, this is a bit crap.
I have to say, when I looked at his IMDb after watching it, I was like, that makes sense.
But I would say overall I enjoyed it. I think I gave it a 3.5 on Letterboxd. I'll get more into the bits that I liked and the bits that I didn't like as we go through it. I gave it a 3.5 on Letterboxd, and I think that's because I enjoyed my time enough with it, but there was bits where it was I think I expected it to go a little bit more full tilt.
Yeah.
And it never quite went full tilt for me.
It's so low energy.
And then when it starts to go full tilt and it starts to be weird, I felt a little bit like it was a movie that was trying to be weird rather than actually just being a bit weird. And it kind of lost me a little bit there. So first act, very good. Middle act, good, but dragged a little bit. Third act doesn't stick a landing.
No.
And I think that often that can be a case with Wheatley. It weirdly with Wheatley, I'd outright not liked one of his movies where I actively disliked it.
Which one?
Another one, Sightseers, I think shit.
Okay.
I think it's a bad movie. And I Field in England, I very much like, this isn't for me. I can see why other people like it, but it wasn't a for me one. But then since that, I've been okay with it, with him. Rebecca was just meh. Very neutered. But yeah, I don't know, Within the Earth, I thought it was fine, it was fun, it was very throwaway, but nowhere near as tense, odd, or anything as people seem to be.
It seems to
have
really,
found it
really thought provoking, and it's not.
No.
But it does start off. You are right. It does start off fairly strong, and you're kind of like, oh, it's interesting what's going on. Okay, this is all a bit weird, blah blah blah, and it starts off quite engaging, and then.
But the minute he turns up, where she comes out of the, what is it, in the red hazmat suit, and it's her, and it's like that, I turned around to you and went, well, she's on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I that whole aspect, it just, as soon as she came on screen, and I think maybe it's just the way that Hayley Squires was told to act, but she was so, like, almost kind of like RP in her dialogue, and just very clipped, and barely
the clippedness was odd, wasn't it?
Yeah, just barely really saying anything. Pretty much immediately, it was like, right, okay, he's kind of like gone out of the frying pan and into the fire here, but not so much. And yeah, the thing is, I liked it, and I will never watch it again. Not because, like, the body horror in it, which wasn't as bad as I've been led to believe, to be honest, was extreme or anything, but just because, yeah, I've seen In the Earth, and I've got no fucking reason to watch it again. But I enjoyed the experience of watching it to a point. I liked being in a dark room watching that film with a bunch of strangers. You know, like people were reacting to it, and like afterwards people were, and it to be honest, it seemed like it was probably pretty close to a sellout with social distancing. But
nice.
No, it was busy. But that's what one showing a day gives you, I think.
Yeah.
But and I think it was all people who knew what they were letting themselves in for. You know, actually, there was one walkout about halfway through, but that was it. And the rest of the people, I heard positive like comments after. You know, people seemed to be into it, and I think that is because the standout sequences do work and they help paper over some of the other stuff where it is that whole kind of thing of almost trying to convince you that it's weird instead of actually being weird. That you said earlier on, Mark. But those standout sequences are odd. There's just not really enough of it, you know.
I mean, even Bex, you actively said a few times, you know, during some of it, you know, oh, that is a really good looking shot for it, and it is. There are some really good looking shots. The problem is, I think within those, it starts to feel a little bit music video.
Yeah, the story doesn't hang it together. It's all well and good having some pretty shots in there, but there has to be.
Well, I had one major issue with it, didn't I?
Oh.
Like a real major issue that is actually probably quite minor.
Go on.
But it bothered me, didn't it? The whole, it's going to take days. It's about 30 miles.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm pretty sure you could walk 30 miles in a day.
Yeah.
You could.
I suppose it depends on the terrain.
The terrain didn't look that drastic, though.
That cut on his foot was nasty, though, wasn't it?
The cut on his foot was very nasty, yeah. But then also, it's a 2.5 day walk. Like, I mean, that's a long walk.
Yeah.
I just don't think there's. It's like the opening, like, few minutes of it when they were going, I was going, well, you could literally drive something down there.
Yeah.
So you've just wasted like 3 hours.
Get yourself an all-terrain vehicle,
a
buggy or something, and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Maybe the bad virus that is rampant in the country has ruined buggies.
Maybe it is.
Ride a fucking horse. Maybe all the horses are dead.
Maybe the horse is dead.
Maybe.
That
would be sad, wouldn't it?
No, not really.
Because horses are smug.
Because they're smug.
Yeah.
Dickheads.
Okay.
Anyway, carry on, Ian.
Yeah, it's nice. I don't know. It didn't quite feel fully formed to me.
But do you think there's a theme of that with some of Wheatley's work? Like it's almost like he seems to get bored of making them halfway through.
Yeah, I don't know, because I mean it's very much like the more Kill Listerfield in England vibe than his other films, which I respect, and I like both of those films, and I know opinions are different. But I didn't really know what it was trying to say. Like, is it a kind of a parable of man's ill against the earth?
No.
Like, because what the fuck actually happened at the end? Did the forest talk to her instead of him? Is that what it was?
I think so as well. Yeah, it nothing happened really.
In the end, it just ends.
It just ends. Yeah.
This
But
is
it doesn't
it.
end on it doesn't end on like any kind of like fatalistic ending or anything like that. They just kind of wander off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that
happened.
She says, "Let me lead you out the forest," and then that's it. And it's like, okay, so, but has the stone been is the spirit of the stone being transferred into her, or is it now that she's received the message of the stone? But then why? Because he was the one who.
I think the stone, I think the spirit of the stone is transferred into her. But then the other point of that would be, well, she is the guide. She is supposed to guide him out of there anyway.
Yeah.
So all the spirit has done is just literally kind of like helped her do her job. Basically, it's a fancy kind of monster.
Nice. Yeah, I just. But the thing is, I came out of it and I was like, yeah, I think I really like that. But aside from some of the visuals and the main two, Joel Fry, I think he's great. I really like that guy.
In this or in general?
In general, I thought he was quite good in this.
He's got a likability. Like, I wanted him and Alma, Laura Torchia, I wanted them to be all right.
Oh, see, I really didn't care.
Oh, okay. No, fair. Yeah, so
there's just no character development whatsoever. They're not human beings. They're not padded enough for me to give a shit about them. They're just little cardboard cutouts moving through a forest and getting their foot cut. Oh well. I didn't give a shit about them. And I don't mind him as an actor. You know, he's better in fucking Cruella than he is in this.
Probably he's the best thing in Cruella.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great.
But at least he feels like a person with thoughts and feelings and the ability to, like, communicate.
I like... Sorry.
He's just, like you say, he's just wet and pathetic and...
I thought Reed Shearsmith was very good in the middle bit. And then just goes a bit too generic crazy towards the end. And Hayley Squires,
good lord, that's him.
I thought was.
I didn't even realise that was him. Sorry.
Was really not very good in this.
No.
I thought she was straight up bad.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. 'Cause I thought, am I missing something? She very much felt like she was reciting lines that she'd just read. Like there's a phrase that's doing the rounds at the moment of, I don't think she understood the assignment. She was literally just saying lines that she'd been told. And that came across very palpably. And then, she was fucking DJing for the forest.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones where it kind of felt like she was just concentrating on the accent more than what she was actually saying.
Yes. That's not her voice.
No, that's the thing. And it's like she was in Happy New Year, Colin Bursted, and she was great in that.
Yeah, she wasn't she?
And it's just like really kind of like natural performance. This performance is the absolute opposite of natural. And it feels like the wrong creative choice, but no, I mean, I liked Joel Fry. I mean, like, yes, he is a little bit wet, but I just felt for him.
A little bit wet. Yeah,
that's it. I felt bad for him, and just seeing it get progressively worse for him, it was like, fucking hell. But then towards the end, he's not whiny. He's kind of resigned and just like, almost like it is what it is.
His resignation to it is pathetic. It's like, oh, my ex has asked me to do something, so I better do it. I better drink this weird mushroom water. No, fucking grow a pair of balls. Don't drink the mushroom water. No. Oh, she's going to slit my throat.
But
oh, well.
There is an element that he is enthralled to the forest by that point, though, because, they've established that, like, that whole ringworm thing, and it's like the forest has essentially brought him there.
Isn't that just her bullshitting, though?
No, because how would she know you have ringworm?
Nah, true.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, there is some sort of power that's keeping him there. But I like the idea that it's affected his body chemistry in a way that he's kind of just dealing with it. He's not constantly trying to escape. And when they do try to escape, they do it in a very methodical way, and it doesn't work. And it's like, instead of just going mad and screaming, it's just like, okay, well, we're here now. We're gonna have to try and solve this problem.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
There's a scientific approach to it, isn't there?
Yeah. And I mean, whether it's scientific, whether it's, like I say, it's like body chemistry being altered by the forest, whatever, I think that is an interesting way of going about it. And but at the same time, I mean, it's interesting. I was just looking at like reviews of the film, and Alison Whitmore for Vulture, it basically says it kind of like comes apart as it goes on, and then it gives you a hallucinatory couple of sequences at the end because it doesn't know what the ending is. And it's like, yeah, you can't argue with that.
That's pretty spot on. However, what I will say though is, by that point, I was kind of like, do you know what? I'm better with it going, right, we don't really know what to do now, or we can't afford to do what we want to do. So let's just give you these fucking trippy, cool smoke images and then end. Rather than having something where I go, well, that was a waste of fucking time.
Yeah. That's exactly where I'm at with it, dude. That's like, it's like I said, I will never watch this again because I just can't be that arsed. But in the moment, there was some interesting imagery and it trundled along because I liked the lead too. Done. Which I think in a way is a mild disappointment, because if it's like a shot in lockdown horror film directed by Ben Wheatley, you kind of want it to be more than that. But it's a damn sight better than Rebecca.
Yeah, it is. And I wasn't. I think I went into it with lower expectations, maybe. And so I came out of it going, do you know what? I was fine with that. I expected it to be a little bit. I expected it more full of itself. I don't think it was quite full of itself. But I do think it felt a little bit scattery. But I do think Wheatley is a scattery filmmaker. And I think the reason why his version of Rebecca was just boring is because you can't go scattery with it, because it just exists there. And that's why it ends up being boring. And the general kind of landscape physics of the end of it don't make sense, because even the filmmakers seem to get bored of it. Everyone was like, all right, this hasn't quite worked, has it? Like halfway through, I think I said when we reviewed Rebecca, it was like halfway through making it, they were like, right, the chemistry and the magic hasn't happened here. This is going to be really boring, isn't it?
God, the madness. That was in the before times, wasn't it? Can you imagine making a fucking romantic movie like that with Armie Hammer now?
Yeah, well, let's not.
Where it's a bit like controlling and shit. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I'm sure there'd be a different one that every directed by Cronenberg in the 80s.
Do you know what? I'm not going to sit here and say it's shit. It was shit for me, but it isn't objectively shit. So I can't give it a definitely not shit either.
So what you
So it's going to be a touching cloth.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not shit for me.
It's definitely not shit for me.
Right, fuck you.
I was fine with it.
That's fine. I thought all of the characters in it were so wooden that it lost me.
Our audience poll was definitely not shit 75% and touching cloth 25%.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Hey, you like my voice, don't you? It's enticing and exotic and sexy. Well, unfortunately, I'm just a promo guy being paid to advertise a movie podcast, and I can assure you that its hosts don't sound anywhere near as classy. But don't let my superior vocal talents discourage you, and go listen to His Film, Her Movie, the podcast where every episode the hosts must each choose a film to watch and discuss that has a connection to the chosen theme of that week's show. So stop aimlessly scrolling through whatever streaming service you're on, and let His Film, Her Movie give you an idea on what to watch next. You can catch it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey Hannah, I think you really can't beat a good rewatch of a TV show. Would you agree with that, love?
Oh, yes, I would. Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I think during, global pandemics, storms, all of these things, it's quite nice to just sit down and burn through something that you've seen a million times.
Absolutely, nothing like a binge watch.
Star Trek.
Babylon 5.
Because you could sit there for hours looking at serial killer documentaries.
Absolutely, that doesn't
Netflix.
make you a weird person at all.
It doesn't. Yeah, you could watch documentaries that all seem to be about women killing men.
Love you, darling.
You could put off watching Daredevil for the 30th time.
Harry Potter.
But really, you can't beat immersing yourself in the warm jumper of a rewatch of a show or a franchise. A beloved franchise.
Lord of the Rings.
Twin Peaks. From VHS compilations recorded off television with the ad breaks, cut out of course, to DVD box sets of Sex and the City and, I don't know, Smallville.
Farscape.
Quantum Leap. To giving up finding new content on Netflix and just having a comfort trawl through Star Trek The Next Generation or Parks and Recreation. I think that we can all agree.
There's a lot to be said for that.
You can't beat a good rewatch. So, with that in mind, join
Hannah
and Mike from Chinstroker vs. Punter as we burn through some of our favourite franchises and share our immediate reactions to each instalment in both spoiler and non-spoiler sections. To do that, do a search for the Rewatch Project with Hannah and Mike on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or whichever your favourite podcast provider may be, or go directly to anchor.fm/rewatch project. We are proud members of the Pod Syndicate family of podcasts.
Okay. What have you guys been watching?
Ooh, do you want to go first, Bex?
Well, I've only watched.
But you can give your brief thoughts on the movies we watched last week. Like, you've given your In the Heights thoughts, haven't you? But you didn't give us your thoughts on Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
It's just big dumb fun, innit?
I think that is literally what we said last week about it.
It's a fucking Labrador running down the beach with its tongue hanging out the side of its face and its ears flopping everywhere. That is Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
Yeah. Can I just say one thing about this? I read a review of it where somebody was essentially saying how disgraceful and a disservice it was to Selma Hayek and how much they felt sorry for Selma Hayek all throughout the movie. Can I just point out, Selma Hayek doesn't have to do this movie. Selma Hayek is Selma Hayek. Selma Hayek is having a blast in this movie. If you feel sorry for her, she would laugh at you about that because she had a blast. She's married to a billionaire, doesn't need the money, doesn't need the attention or anything like that. She is an Oscar-nominated, very talented, very successful actress who wanted to twat about with Ryan Reynolds for a month.
I don't understand that. Like, why? In what sense has she done a disservice?
I think it's because she's quite booby.
But that's just some Hayek.
Yeah, it is. I just found it quite interesting that somebody can have that opinion and not actually know who they're fucking talking about.
But that's it. That's the character. She's supposed to be quite brash and use her God-given assets for what she needs them to be used for.
Yeah. I thought she was brilliant.
Yeah, I did as well, actually. She's really good fun in it.
Yeah.
What else did you watch?
Well,
what was the other one?
In the Heights, but
no, there was another one.
Another one.
There was another one. That was
Infinite.
fun.
But you didn't watch it all, yeah?
Infinite. I was really fucking enjoying that. I am genuinely sad that I fell asleep during that. It'd been a really, really long day, and I was just tired. But I was, when you're like struggling to keep your eyes up and like pulling them open with your fingers. That's where I was at with it. So I will watch Infinite again and report back. So yeah, but the films I have watched on my own this week, I needed a bit of a hug from the movies that I watched on my own this week. So I watched Howl's Moving Castle and Spirited Away.
Nice.
Yeah, double bill them back to back. It was a good time.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah, Howl's Moving Castle remains my favourite Ghibli movie.
Was it?
I absolutely fucking love Howl's Moving Castle. It is so very good, and it's just like it's so well adapted as well because it's not. Isabel's got the book, and she we got her it, and that ain't it. Like they've changed it. It's more like magical and stuff, and like. I couldn't be arsed with subtitles, so I watched the dubbed version, and like Christian Bale as Howl is just weird. Once you know it's Christian Bale, it's really strange. But yeah, I just think it's Emily Mortimer, isn't it?
Yes.
Just really well done, like top tier kind of workmanship on every level. Because I think Miyazaki oversees the dubbing, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
With his ones, so yeah. I love it. And Calcifer and like it's just so good. And then Spirited Away is obviously
it's the one that drew all the attention, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you know what? With really good reason, to be fair. It's such a rich movie. It's got so much kind of going on, so much story to it. It is weird that it was the breakthrough one because it is like a lot of Asian anime doesn't translate very well to like the Western market because the stories they are a bit batshit a lot of the time, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
And Spirited Away is no exception to that.
They're also quite centric. Is that a phrase I can use?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Yeah, but then that's Miyazaki's films are always based around girls being fucking awesome at
yeah,
shit.
I mean, it's there's an oddity, I think, that Western markets are quite hard to market that to.
Yeah. So I think it's weird that was the breakthrough rather than, say, one of the less layered, frantic ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, really good. Really fucking enjoyed both of them. And,
Nice.
and I got what I needed from them, which was just to feel just really warm.
Yeah. We've not watched an awful lot this week, have we?
We haven't.
We've had a bit of a weird week, haven't we? But one I forgot to mention last week, but we did watch together, didn't we?
We did.
We watched Pulp Fiction, didn't we?
Yes. Me gradually chipping away, trying to get you to watch all the Tarantinos with me again.
Yes. And I really like Tarantino. It's just I don't need to watch them every year.
You will watch Hateful Eight with me.
I will watch Hateful Eight with you at some point, yes. But yeah, we watched Pulp Fiction. Pulp Fiction is an odd one in the sense that every time I watch it, my favourite sequence within it changes. Like every time I watch it.
Yeah.
Like this watch, the scene I enjoyed the most was the conversation that Vince and Jules have when they first get to the diner. And that is the bit that I most enjoyed.
I really enjoyed the Samuel Jackson, is it Tim Roth conversation?
Yeah.
What, towards the end?
Yeah. When he like sits him down and starts explaining that no, this isn't how this is gonna work. I thought that was quite good. Amanda Plummer's fucking mental, isn't she?
Amanda Plummer's mental. I think you could have just left it at that. But yeah, it's every time you watch it, you are reminded of how staggeringly composed it is and how ridiculous it is. There's
so much more to it than I ever remember.
Yeah. And the ridiculousness of the fact that this movie cost $8 million is insane when you look back on it. Yeah. I read it interesting. Occasionally you get these wild kind of fan theories that crop up. I read an interesting weird fan theory that Steve Buscemi as Buddy Holly in this as the waiter is Mr. Brown paying some kind of penance for the whole speech at the start of Reservoir Dogs about not believing
that's
anything.
funny.
And I thought, and it's like that's why he looks so angry. And I just thought it's quite it's quite cool. But yeah, it's an effortlessly cool movie. got two more. We'll do this one first. We watched Scarface, didn't we? Mild simulation thing for me this week with this.
Oh, go on.
So I've been wanting to rewatch Scarface for a while. A, because I really like Scarface.
Yeah.
And B, because it's on 4K. And so I decided that we can watch Scarface on Saturday night, I believe it was, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And proceeded to you were making dinner, weren't you? And I was getting it set up. And I looked on my phone for it just to make sure I'd not imagined that it was in 4K. And it said it was in standard HD. And I'm like, oh, I'm sure it's in 4K. So I did a quick search for it, for Scarface, and it came up and said, Scarface, 4K. But it was $4.99. Now, usually if you own the movie, it doesn't show you how much it is or anything like that. It just shows the weird cloud thing with the arrow. And so I was like, oh, what the fuck? So it's just given me it essentially, it's downgraded my from 4K down to the standard HD version. It wants me to buy the 4K version.
Yeah.
That's a little bit of a jip.
That is a jip.
And then I went back into it. Bless you. I went back into it, and the 4K was back.
You know what it was?
What?
Apple TV went, shit, he's fucking noticed.
He's noticed.
Change it.
Change it now.
Yeah.
So we watched Scarface. I really like Scarface. Part of it is, I think, is from enjoying this younger, and I still kind of get that kick out of it. I can see why people have issue with it, but I think the fact that every rapper on Cribs had it for some reason has kind of given it a bit of more negative sway than it deserves. It's De Palma being very excessive, but that's kind of the point. The whole point is the excess is supposed to mirror the ridiculousness of the character, and you're being shown essentially the film that Tony thinks he's in.
Yeah.
Not the real version of what's going on. Everything is shown from Tony's point of view.
Yeah.
Almost. And then as it goes on, it gets crazier and crazier because you're getting the cocaine-fueled nightmare of the American dream. And that's the whole point. It is overtly long for a reason because it's supposed to feel what is it. But it is one I think that does justify how long it is. And you have very much defined a cut point of where this is the first part, this is the second part. The first part is him building up to it, and then then you have him killing Robert Loggia, and then you have him going to pick up Michelle Pfeiffer and walking out and seeing the blimp saying the world is yours. And the fact that he takes that on and decides to use that as a mantra, and it is literally an advert.
Yeah.
But that's the point. He lives the American dream. He everything is surface.
Yeah, I've kind of held back off watching this. I know you've been wanting to rewatch it for a while because I was genuinely concerned that it would ruin it for me, rewatching it. And it has a little bit.
Has
It's lost its charm for me, this film.
Oh, that's interesting.
He's a tacky
He's
little
supposed
man.
to be tacky.
I know, but I don't need to watch that for 14 days.
But it's supposed to be tacky.
I know. But when you say, look, I really like that film, but I just never need to watch it again. I've watched it enough times. That's where I'm at with Scarface.
Whereas
So I would rather have not watched it this time and
still had that memory back of it. Yeah,
I used to fucking love it.
Yeah.
And he infuriates me so much now when I watch it. Probably as a grown-up watching it, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing? You're being a fucking dickhead.
Oh yeah, he's being a dickhead. Yeah.
But like as a kid, you're like, oh yeah, he's just really fucking badass, and he's gonna shoot everybody and got all the drugs, and you watch it as a grown-up, and you're like, you're making some bad choices, Tony.
And it is a bit like that. It is. I can see the issue there. I think with Scarface, I think if you've not watched it when you were like 11,
which obviously I didn't,
then I think it can lose an element of charm to it.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say it's bad. It's not. It's just it's not an up there film for me anymore.
It still is for me. I still adore it. It's fantastic.
Because you're still that 11-year-old in your
Yeah,
heart.
it is. I'm fine with that. Interestingly, Scarface, do you know, is one of the most popular home movie releases of all time on every format. It's Scarface did like decent business in terms of it was quite maligned when it came out and actually became a proper cult hit. But it cost around $30 million to make and doubled that in terms of budget. But has made quite literally hundreds of millions over the years on home releases. So I think it was, at one point, it was the best-selling Laserdisc.
Yeah.
It was at one point the best-selling DVD on the market. It's been one of the best-selling Blu-rays on the market.
I can absolutely see why.
It's crazy how a movie like that is 3 hours long, that is a hard 18. You know, they can go, fuck it, almost Star Wars with it and release 3 different fucking versions of the same format of it, knowing it's gonna sell really fucking well. Partially because idiots like me keep buying it. You know, I have owned this on VHS, I think twice. I owned it on Laserdisc. I owned it on DVD twice because I bought the first version of it and I bought the special edition. I owned the game for the PS2.
You did,
I own it on Blu-ray twice, I believe, and now I own it on 4K. And I will probably buy this on 4K physical copy when we get a 4K physical copy player and do the Ian thing of going, oh, is it look, it's different, Becky, to you going, I've said, Mark, I don't need to watch this again. I don't know why you're FaceTiming me while I'm out.
Mark, I literally don't care about the aspect ratio. Fuck off.
It's not aspect ratio.
Or whatever technical bullshit go on about.
It's the grade.
Tell you one thing I haven't appreciated in previous watches of this.
What?
How much of a fucking sleaze Manny is at the start.
Yeah. All the way, pretty much all the way through it.
That bit where he tries to fucking motorboat that woman that's talking to him in the car. He just like slaps him and walks away.
Yep.
And then she just walks away. It's the woman that he does the
tug out
thing
to.
That slaps him in it.
Yeah.
Oh, what a fucking sees. But he grows as a character.
Yeah, he grows as a
He has
person.
like an opposite trajectory to Tony. Tony becomes a cunt, and Manny becomes all right.
Yeah.
Gets married, settles down, gets shot. Nice.
Yeah. I mean, that bit, we were going to surprise you. Still don't think he'd have been happy about it.
No.
And then what else did we watch, Becky?
What? We watched High School.
A movie that randomly has had a genuine influence on our day-to-day for no fucking reason. What? So, Ian, have you ever seen High School? I don't think you will have. Or heard of High School. You have?
Don't believe I have.
Right. So, High School is a 2010 movie that stars Sean Marquette, Matt Bush, Colin Hanks, and a bunch of other people, and Adrian Brody as a drug dealer.
What?
Called, is it Psycho Ed he's called?
Psycho Ed, yeah.
Yeah, who was like a child genius that accidentally took too many mushrooms and then ended up becoming a drug dealer who makes the most potent drug known to man, called Keith. Keith, isn't it?
Yeah.
Michael Chiklis plays a high school principal who despises drugs, so basically says that everyone has to have a drug test. The valedictorian has smoked weed for the first time ever, and he's essentially going to get expelled rather than getting valedictorian because of this drugs test. So
And he's not going to be able to go to MIT.
No, so his stoner mate decides that the only way that they can stop this from happening is if they get the entire school baked on the bake sale brownies.
Yeah.
So they get the school completely fucking baked.
They break into Psycho Ed.
Yeah.
No, they don't break in. So they sneak in. One of them, the stoner one, pretends he's buying weed while the other one kind of breaks in. They steal his keef, his big jar of keef.
Yeah.
Accidentally put too much in the brownie mix.
Yeah. Get everyone baked. But
hilarity ensues.
But there's hilarity ensues, yeah. But for some reason Psycho Ed has a pet frog.
What?
That ribbits, but it sounds like he's saying what? But because Psycho Ed is a little bit disturbed, whenever the frog ribbits, it sounds like he's saying what? So then Brody will turn around and go, what? And so there's constant moments throughout the movie where people go, what? And everybody just looks at you and goes, what? What? Throughout the entire thing. And then there's the, you want my frog, cunt.
Yeah. Which I sent to Isabel the other day, didn't I?
Yeah. So yeah.
Adrian Brody is fucking great in this as Psycho Ed.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the strongest performances of his I've ever seen, and it's in this weird little movie. But he's really good in it. He's doing some serious facial acting.
Yeah, he's doing some serious facial acting.
Yeah.
McKeith Williamson is in there as a guy called Paranoia, who is just paranoid.
Yeah.
And then who is it? Isn't it the other Wilson brother? Andrew Wilson plays the other one of Psycho Ed's mates. One that gets thrown through a window.
You've not mentioned Colin Hanks.
Colin Hanks is in it, yeah.
We were watching it. I said to Mark, I saw this really good thing on Twitter of about how the Hanks boys are evidence of nominative determinism. If you can't call a child Colin, you will get a Colin. If you call a child a Chet, you will get a Chet.
Nice.
And I think that's
I think it's pretty much spot on, right?
Yeah, that's funny.
It's insane that Chet Hanks and Colin Hanks are out of the same gene pool.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's really random to me that Chet Hanks is Tom Hanks' son. Like, that just doesn't seem right.
It doesn't at all.
In the hospital.
No, he's the human equivalent of the word bro.
He is, yeah. He's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
But yeah, High School.
It would be a strong recommend.
But it's a Saturday or a Friday night after you've had a good few beers. Watch.
Or a Monday night after you've had a good few Jack Daniels.
Yeah, High School is a lot of. I wouldn't say it's a lot of fun, but it's a bit mad.
What?
Yeah, it contains Lisa Simpson talking about her glass dildo.
Oh my word.
God, yeah, it's got hair in it, hasn't it?
Yeah. And pretending it's Bryan Adams.
Yeah. And he's been turned to glass by the River Witch, and the only way that she can fix him is by
her moist walls.
Her moist walls, yeah.
Blimey, Charlie.
I mean, she's high at the time.
Yeah. It's just Brody just going what at things.
What?
Yeah. What have you been watching, bud?
Well, wait. How do I follow that? Okay, so I've got a few things. Finished my mainline Fast and Furious catch up with Fast and Furious 8. I like it. I don't like it as much as several of the others, if I'm honest. I think just the soap opera shit with Dom is at its lowest point here. Like, everything with Dom is very, 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 very dramatic. And I think there's a bit of a tonal clash where, you know, the Dom's baby plot basically concludes with a comedy action sequence with Jason Statham, but all throughout it before, it's all this really like serious conversations between Vin Diesel and Charlize Theron, which go on for fucking ever. And it just, yeah, not feeling that, but the action is good. The relationships between all the other the cast members, like, all work really well. It's very, very funny when you know that The Rock and Vin Diesel basically refuse to shoot with each other
just how separate they are for the entire fucking film. I mean, that is amazing.
Is this the one when The Rock at one point picks up Scott Eastwood?
Yeah, like literally picks him up with both hands and shoves him into a wall. And yeah, I mean that was interesting because it was like they're really building up Scott Eastwood to be a character going forward, and
Part
he's
of the crew,
not in
yeah.
the new one.
No.
He's just gone.
Russell is.
Yeah, Kurt Russell's in the new one, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I like that. That was odd. And it was almost like, are they trying for him to maybe be a substitute Brian in the future? And it's just like, look, we don't need any more fucking anonymous white guys. Off your pop. Yeah. So I'm very, very much looking forward to Fast 9. I like Fast and Furious 8, just not as much as 6 or 7. But
That's
it's
fair.
still fun. Watched Dredd for the first time in a long while. Very much enjoy Dredd. It gets in and out in about 95 minutes. It's got some fucking fantastic visuals in it. All the slow-mo shit rules. And I really, really like Carl Urban. The way he's able to, like, the way his kind of character's opinion of, like, the newbies training up, like, changes, and how he's able to, like, emote all that with just his chin and his voice is pretty well done. I like Dredd. I wish they did more of them, but it just didn't perform. It feels like maybe if they toned down the violence just a little bit and gave it a 15, it would have done better, but it probably wouldn't have really hit the tone they wanted it to either. That it's like the material almost kind of demands it. It's a scuzzy little film, and I really like it. And my only other one other than Luca for this week is this is on Mubi. I watched a Mubi movie, and this is Shiver Baby.
Oh, is that on Mubi?
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is interesting. So I believe directorial debut of Emma Seligman, who also wrote it. And she did, based on, I'm assuming based on, it's based on a short of hers that she did a couple years back. So this concerns, well, film starts and Danielle, played by Rachel Zenott, is shagging Max, played by Danny DeFerrari. Good name. And he kind of gives her some money and says, like, I want you to get through law school, and it's a little bit, is this transactional? Is it something more? I don't really know.
The sugar daddy, ain't he?
Yeah. It's odd. But maybe I'm just closeted to this world. I don't know. Not closeted. What's the, like, closed off, I suppose. And then she's going to a funeral with her parents. Her dad, played by Fred Melamed, always good to see him. And wouldn't you know it, also at the funeral is the sugar daddy. It's soon revealed that he's got a wife and a kid. And it goes on from there. It's interesting. It kind of does cringe comedy, but with a style that just makes it more tense, like straight up tense. But when there are laughs, they're a real pressure valve reliever. I got quite anxious watching this. It's like the main character, she's just this young woman who is doing stupid shit which probably isn't very healthy for her emotionally, and you want her to back away from it, but you kind of also understand the situation she's in. Very, very relatable. Like, very, very, very good performance there. And it seems to be done from a position of authenticity, you know, like the whole kind of like the way a Jewish family kind of reacts to each other, and like, but also more universal ideas of parental disappointment. It all boils together really nicely, and then the last 5 minutes is just this fucking absurd, like I say, like pressure valve reliever of a sequence primarily involving Fred Melamed, which is fucking amazing. And it does this all in like that with credits, 77 minutes. Like, doesn't want to take up too much of your time, wants to tell its story, give you a bit of anxiety, give you some laughs, and get the fuck out of Dodge. I liked it.
I will be watching that this week.
Nice.
I've been kind of looking forward to giving it a go.
Yeah, it's a good watch. I know some people are like really, 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 really all over it. I'm not quite there, but I had a good hour and a quarter or so. So yeah.
Nice.
And that is it for this week for me. So let's move on to our second and last main review of the week, which is for Luca, which is directed by Enrico Casarosa and stars the vocal talents of Jacob Tremblay, Jack Dylan Grazer, Emma Berman, Maya Rudolph, Jim Gaffigan, and others. So this is the story of two boys who are sea monsters, but when they go on to dry land, they turn into humans. One of them is basically running away from home because he's being sent to live with his crazy aunt or something like that. And so they go to the surface. It's an Italian seaside town. And they just want to win money to buy a Vespa and live their best lives. They team up with a girl from the village to do battle against a local bully, while one of the boys' parents is out looking for him. They also turn into humans and are just going around trying to pour water on kids, which is great, to be fair. So I think it's fair to say that we've been fairly ambivalent about Luca on the show in lead up to release. But I will posit a question for Mark. Mark, if this came out in cinemas, do you think it would have done well from a box office perspective?
Would it have done well? If they released it this week, like that released to time the same release as what is it? No, it wouldn't have. Had they released it the end of May for the May kids holidays, I think it'd have done all right. But I don't think it would have done what is perceived as being Pixar numbers now. So for a Pixar movie to be a success, it's almost like it's got to make 600-700 million plus. It's got to be touching that billion mark. And I don't think it would. I don't think for a non already existing Pixar franchise that's there already, I don't think that they're ever going to have one that's going to make $1 billion anymore. The world has changed.
Unless they make another Toy Story, they're fucked, basically.
No, but I think maybe Pixar is having a bit of a moment at the moment. So do I think it'd have been a success? Yes. Do I think it would have been a Pixar success? Probably not. No. I think it is going to be one of those films where I think the problem I have with Pixar, and Soul is a prime example of this, is I don't think, and people might say I'm wrong, I don't think Soul is going to capture the imagination of younger kids in the same way as a Bug's Life would, or Monsters University, Monsters Inc., or anything like that, right? It's just not. No. Soul is made for the parents that are taking the kids to try and entertain them, to try and to give them a Pixar movie that they can take the kids to. Whereas Luca feels more like it's actually trying to appeal to the kids
in the audience.
Which I think is a bit of it's not trying to deal with existentialism or a fear of death or any of these things. It's dealing with
kid stuff. I mean, not wanting to go live with your crazy uncle in the deep is fairly relatable.
It is very relatable, yeah.
Oh, uncle, yeah.
But also as well, it's dealing with the
way his eyes keep moving, just like sliding off to the side independently when he's talking to Luca. That really got me. I enjoyed that.
But then you've got the I think you're still dealing with less broad strokes and fucking, out there thinking. It's dealing more with just, what maybe things like this should be dealing with. The feelings of feeling like you're not quite, like you're out of sorts.
Like you don't quite fit
Like
in.
you don't quite belong. And
Yeah.
finding a way to belong.
Yeah.
And finding a way to be yourself and to...
Things that kids actually feel.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'll be honest, I was really quite taken with Luca.
Bex, are you going to join the train of surprisingly non-minge-faced joy assassins?
Surprisingly non-minge-faced joy assassins.
Yeah.
No.
You didn't like it?
No, I'm not joining the train of joy assassins.
No, of non-minge-faced joy assassins.
Oh, yes. God, sorry, that was like the fucking puzzle in Labyrinth.
That was kind of the point. I'm so sorry.
It's been a long day, Ian. No, I honestly was stunned by it. I really didn't expect to enjoy this, and I thought it was fantastic. I thought the characterization of the three main characters was, even as a grown-up, really, really relatable. They were really likable kids. I thought Julia's dad was fantastic. Although he was basically just a one-armed version of the dad in Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs with those eyebrows.
Totally fair.
Yeah. We watched it with Isabel, didn't we, on Sunday morning?
Did we?
Yeah.
Was Isabel here when she watched it?
Yeah.
Was she?
Fucking hell, Mark.
Oh, she was, yeah. Yeah.
It was Father's Day, remember? You are shit. Anyway, we watched it with Isabel, and one of her early comments was, when I was like, oh God, that's who it is, it's Maya Rudolph, was, ugh, is she just in everything now? So I'm guessing Isabel's come across quite a lot of Maya Rudolph.
I think she'd watched. What's it? Bursting Machines.
Monsters. No.
Mitchell's Bursting Machines. Yeah.
But she, I mean, even a poor-faced, nearly 17-year-old really enjoyed it and cried.
Yeah. Because you said you said apparently it's not got the emotional weight of what is it? She was very much like, no, this does have the emotional weight of it.
Well, I hadn't seen it when I said that, had I? You said it wasn't heartfelt. All right, whatever. No, I thought it was really good. I do really wish that they would just get just a little bit better at drawing characters, because it does bother me. I don't think they look very, very good.
You can't.
No, I know you don't. I don't want them to look fucking photorealistic.
My what is it? Is we need to get rid of this neon pastels that the monsters were. It seems
works, though,
it kind of almost does there, but it has become a thing. Think about it. The fucking Soul verse in Soul was all that colour. It seems very much like they've leaned into that colour and gone, everything has to look like Sully's fur.
Yeah. But I quite like the fact that the sea monsters, like they didn't try and make them like, one of our big complaints about Raya and the Last Dragon was that they tried to make them very kind of like pretty. Like you can basically look at them and go, they think they're making soft toys out of those.
Yeah.
And they haven't done that really with the sea monsters here. They've not tried to make them.
Yeah, I don't even think they have made any toys out of this. It's
No.
almost like they had snuck this movie out for some reason.
I don't get it though. It's really good. It's really good. It's really sweet. It's a nice simple story. It's not like stupidly convoluted.
No, they don't go on a journey. It's the first fucking, what is it, Pixar movie in a long time where there isn't a big long journey.
No, it's just a little journey.
They're going on. They literally just get out of the fucking sea and they're in a town. There you go.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much all of that, to be fair, guys. I was really, really quite taken with it. It's not really meaning to be about anything other than the relationship between these lads and the kid and the girl.
Yeah.
That's it. It's very, very slight. It's very, very sweet. And it's the best thing that Pixar have done in a while.
Yeah,
you know,
it's probably the best thing since Inside Out.
Yeah, I mean, I like Toy Story 4, but that as the years go by, that feels less necessary all the time, you know. But it's just like with Onward. I mean, I know you like Onward, Becky, and I will rewatch it at some point. But you know, that's about, you know, like letting go of things that can't be undone, and you know, living your life and not mourning the past. And Soul is like this existential thing about what it is to have a soul. And give me Luca. As I tweeted very drunkenly late on Friday night, Soul can suck my fucking dick. Luca is where it's at. You know,
they're doing. I mean, Soul aside, because it's fucking shite. Coco is very good.
You really liked Coco, didn't you?
I really
Coco's
liked
good.
Onward. You know, and they're like more recent ones, aren't they? I mean, yeah, there's Soul in the mix there, and you've got to kind of ignore that. But
this is my favourite Pixar movie since A Bug's Life.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this is my favourite Pixar movie since A Bug's Life.
It's just a very chill watch, isn't it?
It's really charming. It's
Yeah.
quite delightful. It's not. There's no. The main character in it is a cartoon character, and I like that.
I mean, they're all cartoon characters.
No, but is it actual?
His personality.
His personality is a cartoon character. It manages to be almost like zany, but there's not that much stereotyping with it.
No.
That
bit where he betrays his friend, we all three of us audibly gasped, didn't we?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Same. So did I.
Yeah. But then, you know, things like the relationship the dad develops with what's his name?
Alberto, is it?
Alberto, yeah. I like the dad. You thinking it's going to take him time to warm to them, but it doesn't. He warms to them pretty much on that first fishing trip.
Oh, and he like takes him in when they go to school.
Yeah, where he says to him when they're looking at his arm, and he's like, and he makes a reference that like some fish like, what is it, bit it off or something like that, and he's like, I don't know, I was born like this. It's like, oh, all right, he's all right, he is, you know, and then straight away you just make some food. Doesn't say like no or anything like that. He's just a good dude.
You, the strong one, coming home with the net.
Yeah. And it zips along at a really nice pace. It looks. I mean, there's a bit in the water where the water's lapping up just before he betrays his friend.
It's lapping up on the beach.
And
it's beautiful.
You look at it going, oh holy shit, that's animated. Wow. That just looks like water and sand.
Yeah. But to be fair, they've always been good at like the scenery stuff.
They have. I do feel a little bit like.
I don't think this should have been dumped.
Like it's been dumped because wealthy people who think they're intellectuals couldn't see its worth.
Mm.
It'll play well in Florida, but it won't play well in New York.
You sit a bunch of kids down and make them fucking Clockwork Orange, make them watch Soul, and then show them this. There is no doubt in my mind that 100% of those children would enjoy this more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, lots like tuned out of Soul after about 15 minutes. She watched
out of Soul after about 15 minutes.
But she watched the entirety of Luca very, very happily. Like she well into it.
Because it's charming and it's fun.
Yeah.
And that's not just for a 7-year-old. That it's charming and it's fun for a 38-year-old.
The big challenge to overcome in this movie is an Italian triathlon.
Yeah.
That includes eating pasta. Like there's it's kind of like Totoro levels of harmless.
Yes. It is.
You know, the baddie, he ain't really that bad. He's just a bit of a dick.
Yeah, he is. He's just a bit of a dick. There isn't worldwide peril. They're not good. You know, that's the thing. At no point do you think, shit, they're gonna actually harpoon them.
No, it's not got that vibe to it.
And the thing is, it's cinematic.
This should have been released.
The bike ride where you know Alberto's there and basically saying to him while you've got what's it still underneath the shield, and he's going, no, stay there. They basically, without saying to him, they don't know that you're a monster.
It's just me.
And he's like, stay there.
Oh, that bit where he's running up with the umbrella as well. My poor heart.
And he's still there for him.
Yeah.
You know, even though what's happened.
But even that, like, it's not a big fucking like hour-long period where they're not friends anymore.
There's no Randy Newman.
Oh god, yeah. He follows him back to that bit of the island, apologizes to him, goes back, and he follows him fairly shortly afterwards. It's not like a whole thing.
Yeah. And then you have the parents throwing water balloons at all the kids.
That is funny.
Trying to find out which one's theirs.
Yeah. She's playing football and just like shoving him with a big fat ass into the waterfall.
It's honestly probably one of my biggest surprises. I'd be surprised if this isn't my biggest surprise of the year.
Yeah, I'd agree with you there.
Yeah, could be top 5 for me actually.
Yeah, it's an absolutely delightful movie. That I'm baffled as to why it was so unceremoniously dumped. Purposefully, it felt like.
It's weird because it's obviously a loss leader to try and get people to subscribe to Disney Plus, but it's like you bring this out in the cinema, it will be reviewed well enough. Like surely this would make more money having a cinema release and then 45 days later going on to Disney Plus. Like
hold it back till the summer holidays and bang it out in cinemas.
Straight up.
We'll take their children.
Straight up. It's a baffling decision that was. You know, and I mean, I understand that they're thinking like people probably aren't going to pay £20 to see it at home, but they probably would for Black Widow and Cruella. I get that, but stick it out in the cinemas. You know, it's worthy enough.
Easily.
Lots just coming in to say goodnight. All right, no, Bubba. Can I have a hug? Yeah.
Oops.
All right. Oh, Lots. What did you think of Luca?
Good.
Yeah. You watched the whole thing, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't watch a lot of films from start to finish, do you?
No. I usually watch from start to middle, at least. Usually at least middle. At least, but usually I don't watch them at all, and some of them I get into them and think it's boring.
Yeah, but you didn't find Luca boring, did you?
No.
No. Okay, cool.
Because it was adventure start to finish, wasn't it?
It was an adventure from start to finish?
Yeah.
Oh, couldn't have said it better myself, babe. Oh.
Right.
Yeah, it was an adventure from start to finish. How they cried out that machine and went flying into the sky and got wet.
Yeah.
And the boy jumped into the water and revealed he was a sea monster.
Yeah.
then the other boy pretended that guy wasn't a sea. He wasn't a sea monster and said, "Sea monster, sea monster."
Yeah, we were just talking about that bit. It was shocking, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, how he didn't say, "I'm a sea monster."
Oh, I know. Right, you better go to bed, all right? All right, I love you. Good review. No, Bubba. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know. Probably the first film she actually watched from start. Well, Mitchell's versus the Machines she did. Before that, it would have been Wolf Walkers. Like, there's not many that she sits through, but Luca was one of them. So that's the thing.
I have just checked, actually, is this is actually released in the US the first week of the summer holidays in the US.
In cinemas.
Yeah, on what is it?
Well, hang on, really?
To get kids to cinemas.
Yeah. Yeah, the spring break the summer break in the US is massive, isn't it? It's ridiculously long.
So this isn't out in the US yet?
No, it's released. This week is the first week of the kids' summer holidays in the US.
Oh, right, I see.
Yeah.
But it's not come out in cinemas over there.
No, it's not come out in cinemas. It's just they've released it to coincide.
So that's why.
That, yeah. Oh yeah, waste. You should put it in the cinemas.
Yeah, it's really odd. It just feels like leaving money on the table. Like, it just. I mean, I don't know who's gonna. I just don't see many people subscribing to Disney Plus for Luca.
There was people who were literally saying. I saw people going, "Oh, wait, Luca's on this weekend. Gone live this weekend," and people within who would normally know these things.
Yeah.
It was not publicised or anything like that.
Oh no, it wasn't. No.
You know,
the thing is, it's easier to get someone. Say Ian wanted to take Lottie. He's there on unlimited. She's a kid's ticket. Easy.
Yeah.
It's easier to get somebody to do that. Even if a family of 4 go to View, for instance, and it's 20 quid. It's easier to get someone to do that than to commit to $7.99 a month. Is it now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so if they're using it to try and drive subscriptions, they should have published that more.
Because this is the thing. It kind of just feels like the people who. Yeah, there are so many people who are already subscribed to Disney Plus that it's like I could see people being like, "Oh shit, The Mandalorian's back on. I will resubscribe to Disney Plus." I just don't quite see people going, "Shit, I need to watch that Pixar film that there's no marketing about whatsoever."
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's odd, and apparently the people within Pixar are pissed off that this is the second one of theirs in a row that's gone, not just Premier Access, but just on Disney Plus. And with Soul, made sense. It was Christmas Day. It was kind of like a treat for people and timed well because it was a really fucking tough Christmas. Luca, it's odd. I do wonder whether if Disney knew that this weekend, all the cinemas in the UK would be open, quite a lot of them in Europe would be open, a shitload of them would be open in the US, whether they still would have made that decision. And I wonder whether they would have decided for Black Widow to go the way it did, as it's going to go as well with the Premier Access thing as well as in cinemas. But yeah, I don't know. It just feels like they've left money on the table here. They could have easily. I'm not saying they would have done $600-700 million, but they could have done even if it was 300 million worldwide. That is going to be more money and would make it seem more like an event when it does go on Disney Plus than just shitting it out on Disney Plus. That's the thing. It's this de-eventizing of films.
Yeah.
That does worry me going into the future because we've watched Luca because we are hardcore film fans who do a fucking film podcast. But does that mean that your average person who otherwise would have seen all the cinema trailers for the last 6 months for Luca and would have gone will even notice that it's on Disney Plus? I just don't know. I mean, the only Disney Plus ads that I've seen lately have been for Loki. There's Loki ads during the football. There's nothing for Luca.
No, it's not been publicised at all.
And it's a shame because it's one of their better ones in recent years.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I think our audience poll on it was. I'm guessing we're all definitely not shit with
Yeah,
them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, this is quite nice. Luca, definitely not shit. 92%.
Sweet.
And one touching cloth at 8%.
Good stuff. Cool.
That's, wow.
Happy with that?
Really cool.
Okay. Let's go. Let's have some questions before we wrap this puppy up. What have we got, Mark?
First question, Rick Kidd, Rick J. Kidd. What are your favourite and least favourite Ben Wheatley films?
Least favourite by a fucking mile is Rebecca.
Favourite is probably High Rise. Least favourite, all of the rest.
Okay.
Of the ones I've seen, I can't claim to have seen all these movies.
Favourite.
I hated that fucking Colin Bursted thing though.
Yeah, you didn't like that, did you?
No.
My favourite's probably Free Fire.
Yeah.
Because I enjoyed the just. I enjoyed the ridiculousness of it, to be honest.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Yeah, we watched it.
Oh.
Clearly made an impression. And worst is Sightseers. It's a terrible.
Shit.
Yeah, it's an awful film.
I like me some Kill List. I like Down Terrace. I mean, it's low budget as fuck, but
Down Terrace is very good. Yeah,
it's a good film. That I like Sightseers, but let's not get into that now. It's not like I'm going to try and convince you otherwise. I like Field in England quite a bit. I really like Happy New Year, Colin Burstead. I thought Free Fire was all right, you know. Yeah, for me, by a fucking mile, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Cool.
It should have been so much better.
The source material they're working with.
Our next question, Marcus Easy. With Black Widow getting good early review, will this reverse a slowing interest in Marvel as a whole? And does Star Wars' next outing need to be a positive one to stop that franchise slide?
I don't think Star Wars is sliding at all if you include the TV output, quite frankly. Everybody fucking loves Mandalorian Season 2.
But cinematically, the last two have kind of been a little bit, or three, you could say, have been a little bit not.
What would they be?
What's the Last Jedi, Solo, and Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah.
I mean, I think Last Jedi is a fascinating film. I cursed the day I was so shitty about it when we reviewed it.
The thing is, I liked all of them, to be honest.
You can just like them though. You wouldn't paint yourself as a Star Wars fan. And I think there's a certain, just to reuse Ian's previous little vocal nugget, there's minge facedness within the Star Wars.
It is a mingy fucking face community.
Hashtag not my Star Wars. And
yeah.
It's like, they're good. I really, really fucking love Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, you realised, didn't you?
Yeah, I saw that a couple of times in the cinema, didn't I? Solo, I wasn't as taken with, but it's fine.
Quite solid. It was oddly shot. Really dark. It's just really dark.
So yeah, I think it's less to do with the actual output, more to do with the fans on the Star Wars thing. Marvel, I'm concerned about Marvel.
But I think Max makes a good point there. I think Marvel, it's because what was the last movie? Was it Spider-Man?
Far From Home.
Yeah,
literally a couple of months after Endgame.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So are we 2 and a bit years now? 2 years?
Yeah, about 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years of essentially just a couple of TV shows. And let's be honest, Black Widow, the reviews are decent of it. I have read some fairly negative reviews as well.
I don't read reviews.
I don't really read them, but I've read that. I've not delved completely in because I don't want to give. I think that some reviewers can unintentionally give too much away. But of the little quick tweet reviews and things like that, there's been a few that have been quite negative as well.
My worry for Marvel, though, is that Black Widow, yeah, is getting some buzz. People are excited for Black Widow. Black Widow's been around for an awfully long time. They're going into this era of characters that people haven't really had a chance to get to care that much about.
That's it. The next one that people are really looking forward to is Spider-Man, which is out, December?
Yeah.
But there is another movie in between that. 2 movies, isn't there?
I don't know.
Eternals and Shang-Chi both this year.
Yeah, they are.
I could not be less bothered about the Eternals.
Jesus! So in a 6-month period, we're going to get 4 Marvel movies.
Yep.
It's like one every 6 weeks.
Something like that, yeah. It's crazy.
Eternals doesn't look very good.
No.
Shang-Chi doesn't look great. I really want it to be.
Yeah, me too.
But it doesn't look like it's going to be. But then you sit here and say that Black Widow didn't look like it was going to be that good until this new trailer came out.
Yeah. It looked Black Widow looked like a TV show that nobody wanted, and that would have undersold how important that character is to the whole fucking story.
Universe, yeah.
The problem is it's too late now. I do think it's too late. This is supposed to be what's happening in between. What's it called? Infinity War and Endgame.
Oh, is that when it's...
I think it's
Civil
Civil
War and Infinity War.
Civil War and Infinity War. It's set in between those.
You can't do that.
But that just feels it feels a little bit like, how are they going to make that work? It does feel a little like they've gone, look, we should have probably done this then, but we didn't, so we're going to do it now.
So it's between, Civil War and...
Infinity War.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it means we get to watch
what they should have
Civil
done?
War.
They should have released it between Civil War and Infinity War.
They should have. I do think Marvel's in a slightly iffy spot at the moment.
I do.
In the sense that train to keep on rolling had to keep on essentially rolling.
Feeding us content and keeping us fucking...
Yeah, and it's not a little bit. And the word on I haven't watched them, but the word on the TV series, the buzz wasn't as buzzy. I don't think.
It was with WandaVision, and it was quite buzzy with Loki.
It was to nowhere near the level of something like The Mandalorian. People were fucking loving that every fucking week.
Same with WandaVision.
Were they?
Yeah.
That's what a lot.
One Division had people in like January and February, dude.
Did it? But did it land the ending?
It did not land the ending.
Then there you fucking go. People always remember the ending. You might have had your week on week out, but then if you don't stick the ending, then what happens is people can't be asked to watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier because what is it?
To be fair, Falcon and the Winter Soldier felt like the damp squib out of the two of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Anthony Mackie's been a little bit weird at the moment.
Is he? Why?
He doesn't like the fact that people are saying that there was some like sexual tension between Bucky and whatever he's called.
You put a plank in a room with Sebastian Stan as Bucky Barnes and there's going to be sexual tension.
I think at the core of it, where he's saying that people just seem to want to fucking ship absolutely everybody who's on screen together, no matter what the sexual preference of it is a point. You know, everybody is kind of obsessed with these characters should get together, whether it's man and woman, woman and woman, man and man, mineral and vegetable. You know, it's so I get that aspect, but there is a slight tension there with Mackie where it does kind of feel like it's the fact that it's him and Sebastian Stan,
it does
which
feel
is
a
the
little
thing
bit
that fucks
like
him
he's
off.
going, not gay. It's fine, but I'm not.
I don't think you can really do no homo in 2021, can you?
I don't think he's quite doing that.
It's the whole I'm not gay, but if I was gay, I'd want equal rights.
Yeah.
It's pop star never stop, never stopping, come to life once again.
Yeah.
I want to rewatch But then the Loki buzz has been quite good.
I still maintain that the funniest thing that ever happened to Sebastian Stan was when he tried to come on to Sharon Stone in that interview once, and Sharon Stone literally started coming back on to him and he didn't know what to do.
Nah.
He just completely fucking froze and shit himself.
You will have to find that.
And Sharon Stone has sort of said afterwards, well, he was really flirting with me, and he's a good-looking young man, and so I thought, well, I'm gonna flirt back. I'm a single woman. Let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
And then I think I might have scared him a little bit. This seems to happen a lot.
I mean, it's Sharon fucking Stone.
Yeah.
You don't expect her to flirt back.
Yeah.
Good on her.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to Black Widow. It does feel like I'm watching a movie that's been on a shelf for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Looks pretty good though.
I'm up for it.
I'm up for it. It looks like it's been way too long. It's either going to be that was really entertaining, or when I come out of it and go, whew, when's Spider-Man out?
Right.
Do you know what? It means we get to watch Civil War again. So,
tickets are on sale now. I will IMAX the fuck out of that 2 weeks Wednesday. Brilliant.
I'm here for the four main cast. I'm here for David Harbour and Rachel Weisz doing fucking dodgy Russian accents.
Yep.
Florence Pugh not so much, but I'm not as big of a fan of her as you are, Ian.
Looking forward to Rachel Weisz being the bad guy.
Yep.
It's fucking happening.
It's so obvious.
I'm quite keen for this film. So, yeah.
The fact that every time you see the bad guy, you go, wait, who's playing the bad guy? Wait, they haven't revealed it yet. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, it's Rachel Weisz, isn't it?
They haven't revealed it, but there's an awful lot of David Harbour in fights.
Yeah.
So, it's her.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't think it's going to be Florence Pugh unless they are establishing her as a big bad for multiple films, which I don't think is happening. I think she's taking over from Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Black Widow. I'm looking forward to seeing really big films again on the big screen. Like Fast 9 is going to be so good. Like Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard is an action film, but it's not like
it's a comedy before it's an action film.
Yeah, exactly. Like Fast 9 and then Black Widow is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it does feel that's the right cinema's back, baby.
Yeah.
What we've had so far has been cinema just kind of getting used to being back open.
Yeah, it has a little bit.
Yeah.
Like testing the waters.
Testing the waters.
Let's just
a
not
few
really,
test events.
Let's not release anything too big because they might put us back into lockdown.
Yeah. And now it does feel like cinema's back, baby.
I just think you've got these Marvel movies that are coming out, and the ones that people are talking about are your Spider-Man, your Black Widow, your Thor.
Yeah.
They're not talking about these new ones, and I think it's a really bad misstep. What they should have done is, if you were going to start making films about new characters, introduce them in the last few movies of the previous phase.
Or they should have planned a couple more of the leading ones. Like Shang-Chi's turning up in his own movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but establish the characters in the other established characters' films first.
The Eternals.
Have him in there at the fucking end of Endgame.
The Eternals look like dicks.
What?
They look like dickheads. They look like dickheads. It's like, and they're all
fucking colonizers.
All that is gonna be. Well, where the fuck were you when the fucking snap happened, you pricks? Yeah. And they'll try and cover it with a bit of dialogue, but there'll be a lot of people there going, nope, sorry, don't buy it. Shang-Chi's all right. He didn't get his fucking 10 rings before that. He will let that fucker off. He's new. But you pricks.
Captain Marvel's on fucking shaky ground.
She is on shaky ground. Oh, I do the universes. Oh, fuck off. You were getting your hair done, you twat.
She was getting her hair done.
Intergalactic hairdos.
Yeah, she should have fucking been there.
She should have
fairly
fucking been there.
seismic event. She should have been there.
She should have been there, yeah.
Silly bitch.
If you're that fucking omnipotent, then you can whip it back down to earth for a quick sec.
All the pain that she would have stopped.
Yeah, couldn't board.
Yeah,
couldn't board. Got get her head up.
Well, Marcus, we answered the fuck out of that one. Okay, I believe that's it, Mark. Yeah.
It is indeed, yeah.
Okay, cool. So that will do it for this week's show. We are back next week with Fast 9, the Fast Saga. What a treat. Cannot wait.
We have a lot of Fast and Furious movies.
We're not watching all the Fast and Furious movies, fine, Mickey. We're just not. We're watching. Mickey, we're going to see it in 3 days.
You can do it.
No, we are.
You could easily do 2 tonight because you're both night owls, and then you've only got 6 more to go in 2 nights.
Yeah, 3 a night. Sorted. We're off tomorrow. We're off on Wednesday.
Oh, come on, you can do it.
Oh, I don't want to. Like when we went to see fucking Silent Monsters.
Fine.
What's it called?
Silent Monsters.
Quiet Place 2.
Right.
We hadn't watched A Quiet Place before it. It made me really sad.
Right, fine, we'll watch fucking 6 Fast and Furious movies in the next 3 days.
Good.
8 of them, mate. 8 in 3 days.
And we've watched the first one.
That's 7.
Oh, you got 7? You got 7 in 3 days and you're off one of the days. Piece of piss, come on. Put your fucking big boy pants on.
Yeah, Mark.
Fine.
Woo! Oh, we get to watch Tokyo Drift. Woo!
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Right. Okay, I'm going to get the fuck out of Dodge because I really need to go to the toilet. So I did all the pluggy stuff at the start. So bye.
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 This podcast is part of the Pod Syndicate family. For more criminally compelling shows, articles, and conversations, head to wearepodsyndicate.com.